What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at a new custom playbook I designed for College Football 25. This is the NCAA Football 06 Spread Playbook. What I did was took every single shotgun formation from that game and used it in here. So there were 12 total shotgun formations in 06, and thankfully every single one of them are in College Football 25, which is pretty cool. Now, if you go to the download center and you go to either, you can look up my username, Playbook Gamer, or you could just look up N06 spread. I'll put that in the description below, and you'll be able to find this playbook. So let's go through it a little bit. So here we are in the formation section. As you can see, there's nothing but shotgun. It's all right here. Starting off, ace slot, that's a 12 personnel look. Then we got split, that's 21 personnel. Then we got 5 wide receiver, we know what that is. Then we got spread, that's your 10 personnel, your 4 wide look. We got wide trips, that's 11 personnel. We got doubles. In 06, this was gun normal. Then we got trips tied in. This used to be called trips over in trips tied in over in 06, and it was also flipped. The original one as is was not in the game, but this is technically the same thing, so that's what I went with. Then we got basic trips, that's another 4 wide look. Then we got split slot open, that's a 20 personnel formation. Then we got ace, then we got bunch, that's another 10 personnel, but in this game it's 11 personnel. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Then we got tight open. In 06, that was a 10 personnel formation. And now we're back to ace slot. So there's just 12 total. That's it. So another thing you want to pay attention to is notice the play counts for all of these. I don't have a single formation that has more than 18 plays. That's how it was designed in 06. Not a single formation had more than 18 plays in it, so this is what I went with here. Now, some of these formations only have like 15 or 12. But that's because in this game, there are only 15 A-slot formations, okay? So another thing I try to do to replicate the 06 playbooks is if you go into here, I tried my best not to include any option routes or pre-snap motion plays. So any pre-snap motion, you're not going to find it anywhere. Thankfully, I was able to avoid that. Again, I just want to try to get as close to the original thing as best I could. But there are some plays in here that will have an option route. As you see here on the left, you got stick with that little tight end running a little stick or a little out route, depending on the coverage and whatnot. But otherwise, it's basic runs and passes, nothing too outlandish when you go through here. So like I'm going to go over another really cool thing, actually, if you want to go over to like spread, for example, some of these plays are the exact same thing. I tried my best to get as close as I could to some of the real plays from 06. Not always, but I was able to get to most of them. For example, there is a shotgun spread, deep attack. I'm going to go ahead and call that one. This is like the most popular pass play in 06. Everybody and their brother has used it. Really good stuff. I'm going to hit that little out route over there on the left, but it is in there, and they actually called it by the original name, which I think is pretty cool. Now, you'll also notice I have an RPO right there. We got a handful of RPOs in this playbook. Now, you may be asking yourself, Al, why did you put RPOs in this playbook if we're trying to get close to the real thing? Well, there were actual RPOs in 06. They were called PE reads. Now, you see a PE read right here in shotgun spread, but that play does not let you hand it off to the halfback. That's just a basic play action play. However, the PE reads in 06 would let you hand the ball off to the halfback. So there are a handful of RPOs in this playbook. So I do want to point that out. But if you go over to like the concepts, you notice the play counts here. Actually, we can go over to play type and look at that a little bit easier. There are about less than 200 plays in the entire playbook. Not big at all, more than what you would need though. So if you go over to concepts, you go over to like your runs. I got, 34 basic runs, and I got, again, a little bit of everything. I got some power, I got some counter, I got a little draw, I got some inside zone and outside zone. Even got an end around, that's the gun bunch, that's in that game as well. I even got a couple of DIY reverses, but that's only because that particular formation just had some really oddball things, but not much of things in general. I only had like 15 plays. But you go over to the option, we have as much option as we do basic runs. So if you want to run a full-blown option offense from this playbook, you can do that. I got a bunch of speed options, as you see right here. That was like the main option concept in that game. I even got an inverted veer. Technically that was in 06. We got some read options. That was QB choice in 06. We even got some triple option from your split formations, and we got just a handful of RPOs, but not too much, and they're very basic, just basic bubbles and whatnot. You go to quick passes, I got some Omaha, I got a little Ohio, I got some slant, I got a little bit of stick. I know stick technically wasn't in that game, but I really was limited again in a couple of those formations. No big deal though. Medium pass, we got, look here, just a little bit of everything. I even got enough of the mesh, which is one of my go-to concepts, and regardless of what I call schematically, got plenty of spot. That was a very big concept in 06, just that Z route, just run a little curl and whatnot. We even got the Texas route. So this playbook probably has more Texas routes than any other playbook in the game. The Texas route, most of these playbooks barely have one play that's got that little halfback Texas route. Well, this one's got 4, and that was just a big time route in that game. You go to the deep passes, there you go. I got just a little bit of everything. I got plenty of comebacks, I got some verticals, and I got some flood and Mills and Portlands, some really old school stuff that's been around for a very long time. You go through play actions and screens, you see it's very limited, but if you actually go to play type, you go to pass, you go to screens, we technically got 15 basic screens, and you throw in those a handful of RPOs, and you got more than what you need. You got 19 play actions as well. I know some of those were from the goal line formations, but you got plenty of play action here. And again, you throw in those RPOs, those are technically play actions as well. So either way, you notice we got 44 runs, we got just 20 options, and we got a handful of RPOs. So I think you're going to like this playbook. Again, look up N06 spread in the download center, and you should be able to find it. If not, just look up my username, Playbook Gamer. I also updated all of the audibles. I do that for every single formation or playbook that I put together. Like I'm going to go ahead and select, we'll go A slot, we'll select X spot, we'll go up against something random here. If I can get out to it, let me go ahead and select right there. There we go. So you hit square, and I got all the basic audibles for every single one of these formations if you need them. So there you go. I do not create the game plan for any of these. That's up to you if you want to do that or not. But either way, if you need a simplistic shotgun-based spread offense that's got a little bit of everything, especially in the run games, you know, half run, half option, I think you'll really enjoy this. Just leave a comment if you like it, use it. Hope you have fun with it. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.